Hello, my friends. Happy Friday Eve day. I am just waiting, you know how this goes, for StreamYard to play nice with Facebook so that I can tell if I am live in my Facebook group. 1 second. Just want to double check this because I have people in the group that are expecting to see me live. And you know how tech is. There we go. All right, looks like we are officially live. Happy Friday Eve day to everybody. You know how I love to do things around here. I'm using StreamYard so I can go live in multiple places at the same time. Huge time savings. And also, it's a great way to repurpose your content. So if you're wanting to go live every week like I am, hit multiple destinations at once so you can get it all done in one shot and then be able to repurpose your video and your audio, DM me or email me and let me talk to you about StreamYard. It's been great for me. I've used it for years. Today, I'm going to warn you, I'm probably going to ruffle some feathers. I'm going to make people squirm a little bit, but I'm okay with that because if you've been with me for any length of time, you know I'm all about honesty and transparency. We need way more of that in this online space. I mean, I think we can agree. Tell me in the comments if you can agree. So today I'm going to pull back the curtain because it's time we talked about the true cost of building an online business. But first, just in case this is the first time we've ever met, I want to introduce myself. I am Tracy Beavers. I'm an award-winning business and sales coach with over 20 years of experience in marketing, sales, and business growth. And about 7 years ago, I became completely fed up with my corporate career and I hatched a plan to fully exit. It just started to feel like a jacket that was 2 sizes too small. And back in my second full year of building this business in the online space, I busted through the six-figure ceiling and I haven't looked back. And I share that with you not to brag because I'm not a bragger, but I share it with you to inspire you. If you are sitting in a job that you don't enjoy anymore, or maybe you quit your job and you are a solopreneur starting out wondering when is the income going to get stable, let my story inspire you. I teach I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs over the years. And what I teach is all organic visibility and list growth strategies. The strategies I teach get your list growth happening automatically every day in the background of your business without paid ads and without creating yet another free lead magnet. So if you're thinking that you need more visibility and list growth, especially when we start 2025, I want you to reach out to me. I have 45-minute one-to-one sessions that are only $167. And right now, I have a holiday promotion going on. You get a gift with purchase when you grab one of my 45-minute one-to-one sessions. It's a great workbook called Distraction Action, and it actually walks you through and uncovers things that will blow your mind that are distracting you that you don't realize are distracting you. I went through it and I was like, oh man, I uncovered some things that were just pesky little distractions that I wasn't recognizing. And then it gives you strategies to actually kick those to the curb so you can be more productive. So DM me or email me to get more information on that. All right, buckle up because this training was born after I reached a max point on my frustration level in the online space. My frustration level with the lack of honest conversations about what it actually takes to build an online business. Tell me in the comments if you feel the same way, if you are tired of just seeing, six-figure launches and all the things, and nobody's really talking about the actual time and expense that it takes to build. Because it's not all laptops at the beach, which confuses the heck out of me. Why would you take your laptop to the beach? First of all, you can't see the screen. Second of all, sand, I don't know. That whole thing just blows my mind. I'm like, don't take your laptop to the beach or the swimming pool. And the private jets with the Lamborghinis parked in front of them. And if one more person talks about how having an online business is a zero expense endeavor, or it's a great way to make passive income, no, it, I really might lose it completely because the reality is income streams that are considered quote unquote passive, they still require active work and intention. Nothing when it comes to building a business or building income is passive. So I've been asking myself, how in the world did we get to this point where all we see is big numbers, six-figure launches, working from anywhere, working 5 hours a week, and nothing mentioned about the behind the scenes investments and expenses? In my opinion, there's a lack of honesty. And the narratives that I'm seeing are misleading, which is where my frustration comes in. Now, let me be clear. I am not saying that you cannot build a business that suits your life and gives you great income with the time freedom you seek. But I do want to bring some reality and honesty to the narrative in the hope that more people will enter the online space with their eyes open and having realistic expectations and realistic goals. Because the narrative that we're hearing and seeing is doing damage to our mental health. We think that if we don't make 5 figures in our first launch of our product, we have failed. We think that if we don't spend a fortune on paid ads, that our businesses aren't going to grow. We think that if we build it, they will come. One of my business friends, we were in a paid membership together, and this made me so sad. She shared with me that her first launch was only 4 figures, high 4 figures. Okay. We're talking $7,000, $8,000. That's a lot of money, but it wasn't 5 figures. And it got her so down that she actually parked her business for a couple of months and went and sought counseling. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my stars, we have to do better. We have to have more honest conversations. And I know she's not alone. So let's have a real conversation here. And hopefully, you will feel better about yourself and your business and your ability to actually achieve your dream. Now, we all know that you need to spend money to make money, but let's talk about what's really needed when you're just starting out. You do need to have an email service provider to build your email list. Now, that's not a shock coming from me. I teach email list growth, right? But you really do need to have an email service provider, and it doesn't have to be a fancy one with all the bells and whistles, and it doesn't have to be expensive. There's some really great free email service providers that you can start out with, free or low cost. You need free lead magnets to attract your ideal clients to join your list. So we do need to develop those. And you might have to trade with somebody that can teach you how to do it if tech is not your love language like me, or pay somebody for a session, one session, to teach you what you need to know to create those lead magnets. You need to decide the offers you want to sell and think through what platform might be needed to deliver those offers. But again, you don't need something that's the Cadillac when a Honda will do just fine. You need a software plan that allows you to make some graphics like Canva. I love the free version, you guys, of Canva. I used it for years before going to the pro version. So start out with the free version of that. You're going to want to buy a domain for your business. And you're going to want to pay the necessary filing fees to create your business entity and any applicable franchise fees, franchise taxes, depending on where you live. Now, listen, I got my CPA degree and my law degree the same place I got my medical degree. So in terms of that stuff, ask a licensed professional about those things, just to make sure you're doing everything correctly for the state and country that you live in. Do you need a full-blown website? This is a question I get asked a lot by my clients and students. And I see it also in Facebook groups that I'm in where online entrepreneurs are hanging out. Do I need a full-blown website? I'm going to say no. And it might make me super unpopular with my website builder friends out there, but hear me out. I'm a prime example. I made it 18 months building my business without a website. Why? Because tech is not my love language and I'm super stubborn. And I thought, I'm going to see how far I can ride this train without a website. And I'll say, at a minimum, if I had to do it over again, I would have at least created a very simple landing page, which that email service provider we just talked about will supply you, to give more context about me and my work, and a button to contact me. At a minimum, just put together a simple landing page that talks about you and your services so that people do have something to look at when they say, oh, do you have a website? All right, so let's work through the stages of growth for just a second to bring some perspective to our growth cycles. I gave you a list of expenses that you need to expect when you're starting an online business, but let's talk about the growth cycle of your business. So starting out, you need minimal investments like I just walked you through, some free, some paid, but there are great options out there that are budget friendly. So expect to spend somewhere between $50 to $200 a month, depending on the software platforms you choose, and if you need to hire somebody to help you with a few things. And then when you begin to grow and scale, and you want to scale, and you want to start to outsource some stuff or pay some people to teach you some more advanced strategies, maybe pay for the paid part of a tool like Canva, possibly running paid ads even, then you're looking at $1,000 to $5,000 a month for business expenses. Now, these are just estimates. Just remember that. I'm just giving you ranges here. And then when you really start to get the engines running, and you're not only wanting to sustain your growth, but to continue to scale on up, adding to your team, getting advanced tools, you might be looking at $7,000 to $10,000 a month. And again, These are just estimates. These are just ranges. So ask yourself every month, where can you save? Where do you invest? So at the end of every month, I have what I call a month-end workflow where I go through all of my income, all of my expenses, and I've listed every monthly subscription I've got so that I can keep track of them. And I ask myself, do I still need that? Or could I get away with a free version of that? Right? And then I ask myself, okay, how much did I bring in income? Where can I invest next to keep growing and scaling my business? So one of my mentors is Amy Porterfield, and she says all the time, keep it simple and get fancy later. Now, listen, I'm a sticky note fan, so I want you to write that on a sticky note as a reminder and put it by your laptop. Keep things simple until you bump up against a growth ceiling. Then consider the least expensive way to get to the next level, and then you can get a little fancier and scale on up from there. And I want you to remember, if you remember nothing else that I've said today, that big revenue numbers shouted from the rooftops by your colleagues and competitors do not tell the whole story. I'm going to give you an example. 2 online entrepreneurs, both do about the same type of work, about the same pricing of offers, all of the things. One of those entrepreneurs has a launch and generates $25,000 in top line revenue, and her expenses are about $5,000. So she netted about $20,000. The other online entrepreneur has a launch of $100,000 in top line revenue, but her expenses to get that amount of money, they were $80,000 total. Again, a $20,000 net profit. Both of these awesome women had outstanding launches and profited $20,000, which is nothing to sneeze at. And yet, the gal that had the $25,000 launch only sees the reporting of the $100,000 received from her by her competitor and ends up feeling super deflated. If we are not careful, if we do not remind ourselves that underneath that top line revenue, there's a bunch of expenses, then we have to ask ourselves, when you see a big launch number like that, when I see one of my competitors made $100,000 and I've made $25,000, and I'm sitting over here thinking, what's wrong with me? Why did my product sell the way theirs did? I have to remind myself, okay, Tracy, how much of that are they actually getting to take home? How much of that money is actually profit and in their bank account? Please tell me you can relate to what I'm saying here. Put that in the comments. I'm going to go check the comments really fast over on Facebook. Yep, everybody asked. Yes, I love it. Somebody said free for me. Free is for me. I love that. Free is for you for as long as you can ride the free train. So let's talk about income and expenses. One thing that we all need to do as serious CEOs, which you are, you may be saying to yourself, Tracy, I'm on day 1, hour 1 of building this business. I do not feel like a CEO. Or you might be saying, I'm just a coach, or I just have a small course business. Okay, my friend, you are a CEO. You're a business owner. So let's step into that role as serious CEOs. We all need to be tracking not only our income, I know that's the fun part, but our expenses, which is kind of the want part, right? Because that's what's going to truly make or break your ability to keep the majority of your money, to keep growing and scaling, and make or break the longevity of your business. Now, I did not love tracking the numbers. When I first started, confession, I was like, do I really need to do that? I'd rather just stick my head in the sand. Because let's face it, unless you're a numbers person, numbers are not sexy. And they can feel a little scary. But I'll tell you what I did. I put my serious CEO pants on and I got a very simple profit and loss software program, because tech's not my love language and numbers really aren't either. And I purchased it years ago. It's a small one-time investment and now I own it. And it's super simple Google Sheets that are formulated. So all I have to do is input the income and input the expenses, and there you go. I can fully see the health of my business in one click, and I have a profit and loss statement that I can send to my CPA when it comes time for us to talk about my taxes. It's really cool. And the reason why I started becoming excited about tracking my numbers was because having a profit and loss system like this allows you to see what are your best sellers, what things are not selling as well. That is sometimes surprising because you think, I oh, if I had to bet money, everybody would buy product A, when in fact, everybody's buying product B, and you need to lean in on product B and promote the heck out of that over product A. It's stuff like that that will be revealed to you. Also, you can see, what are your biggest expenses? Is it your assistant or your VA that you hired? Or is it your taxes? Or is it the fees you have to pay to your payment provider like Stripe and PayPal? So get a simple profit and loss system. And if you want to know about mine, I'll be posting that into the comments for you here in just a second. So before we wrap all this up with a bow, let's talk about the difference between spending and investing. Because smart investments need to be made. The right coach, like me, that actually takes time with you, listens to you, roadmaps your business and your action steps in a way where you can actually get to work with blinders on and make traction towards your income goals, that's a smart investment. Before you hire a coach, though, do your due diligence and ask all the right questions. Read their reviews, read their testimonials, ask other people, who have you used, who have you hired? Because I have competitors out there that will take your money. They will. They're doing it all day long. And it's heartbreaking to me. And you're not going to get the help you want because they're just in it for the money. So DM me if you want to, if you want to talk about coaching with me. And if you're looking at a business coach to hire, DM me anyway and tell me who you want to hire. Tell me, let's talk about it. Because if that person is the best fit for you, I'm going to be cheering you on. But I want to help you know if this is the right investment for you at the right time. Your success is the priority here over whether or not you hire me. You want to seek out programs that allow you to not only have a course module with the program, but actually have time with the coach that created the course, to answer every question you have. I want you to hear that, because nothing gets my goat more than being in a program where they say questions are going to be answered. And you're paying to be in this program. You deserve to have all of your questions answered. So ask that question before you join a program. Are all questions answered? Are they answered by the coach, or are they shuffled off to someone on the team? Because, shameless plug here, in my 8-week group coaching program, this is exactly what sets my program apart. I personally answer every single question. And I have students that want to join the program and they're like, really? You really answer every single question? I do. We don't have people pre-submit questions and then I cherry pick the ones I'm going to answer. We don't put you on a timer. It's you and me. You're asking me your questions. I'm answering them. And so when you're looking at a program, find a program that's like that, because you deserve nothing less. And when you're determining if an investment is a smart investment, again, ask questions. Ask other people, your business besties, your accountability pod mates, about their experience. Don't be afraid to ask every question you have. How do I know this? Why do I say to do this? Because I made some huge money mistakes in my business when I was first starting out because I didn't ask the right questions. I want you to check out episode number 27 of my podcast. My podcast is called Create Online Business Success. This is where I share all of my money missteps and how before I join anything, I am asking tons of questions. In fact, the last 2 programs I joined, the leadership was like, dang, you put us through our paces. And I'm like, yep, I sure did. And I'm sorry, not sorry, but I was going to get all my questions answered before I spent my money. You can build the online business of your dreams, one that gives you the income you need for your family. And maybe that's $50,000 a year. Maybe that's $100,000 a year. Maybe you require, or want more. You also want to build a business that gives you the flexibility of your schedule, because why are we doing it? Then we might as well just go work for somebody else. And you want to make smart, intentional investments. You want to track your income and your expenses. And more importantly, not get caught up in the hype that we see on social media when all other people are doing is reporting their top line revenue. You can do this. If I can do it, you can too. With the right tools, the right support, with a coach like me, and the right mindset, you can grow a business that's not just successful, but very profitable. And more importantly, brings you joy. Okay, I feel like I just got off of a soapbox with all of that ranting. I'm going to go check your questions and your comments. All right. Good morning, everybody. Elena is here. Elizabeth is here. Elena said, free is my friend for as long as I can. Yes, totally get it. Yes, absolutely. All right. So I'm going to pop this link into the chat. This is the profit and loss tracker that I talked about. We put that over here on Facebook. Go to tracybeavers.biz/Katie if you are listening on the podcast. So here's what I want you to do now. I have a super fun quiz that I developed for you over the summer. People are loving it. They're telling me their results, and it's been so much fun. The quiz is called Unlock Your Secret to Stand Out and Become Unforgettable Online. That is so much fun. Who doesn't want to become unforgettable online, right? Okay, so I'm going to pop the link to that into the comments as well. It's tracybeavers.com/quiz. And also, if you're listening on the podcast, it'll be in the show notes. Remember that we have decided to do something really fun in my free Facebook group. If you're not in it, you need to be in it. It's called Be a Confident Entrepreneur, Get Visible, Grow Your Email List and Your Income. And we let the members do live spotlights twice a month. That's right. You can come into my group. You can go live. You can teach over 3,000 people in my group about your expertise, your knowledge, and you can also practice your presentation skills because my Facebook group is a really great group of warm, kind people that will totally be cheering you on. We are booking those now. We're booked out for a few months, and total transparency, the alums in my Business Visibility Made Easy program that are in my alumni mastermind, they get first crack, but we do have some spots open. All right, I want you to be here live with me every Thursday at 11:30. I want you to put it on your Google Calendar and set a phone alarm. And remember, I say this every single week, don't go it alone. Being an entrepreneur is freaking hard. Some days everybody wants to buy what you're selling, and other days nobody remembers your name. And if you think you're alone feeling that way, you are absolutely not. It doesn't matter if you're on day one, hour one, or you're 15 years in and you've made a gazillion dollars. We all have days where the roller coaster feels like too much. So get into a community of like-minded people that can cheer you on and support you when you need it. Join my free Facebook group, Be a Confident Entrepreneur. I want you to have a great balance of the week and weekend. And remember, when one of us rises, we all rise. So that is why we have got to keep cheering each other on. I will see you guys in the new year. I will not be live next week or the week after because of the holidays. I hope you have beautiful holiday season with your family if you celebrate. And I will see you next year in 2025. Thanks for being with me.